Welcome back to the Blue Way Talk Show with your hosts, Duane Bluestein and Miss Shelley Marie.
Word.
No ding, no nothing.
Ding.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to get serious on this, and these topics were sent in by Tony Johnson again, because Tony's on me like, hey, let's talk about this, let's talk
Right.
about that. He might
I
be my
appreciate that.
co-producer real
On the
soon.
credit?
Yeah,
Right.
on the credit, but he was like, "No, don't give me no credit. I just want y'all to talk about this."
Okay.
All right,
So
I
here
ain't
we
gonna
go.
give you no credit. So, but we are going to talk about society, and this is kind of weird because when I saw these topics, I was like, yeah. Ooh,
Right.
hold up, maybe that might be a little deep.
I got in today and I was like,
And you guys gotta understand, my producer nor Miss Shelley Marie know anything that I have on the paper. I mean, they just kind of, it's there and I put it together and they just have to kind of flow with it. So
hence why he always be looking like he's so smart.
yeah, because I do the research. I do all the research before I
saying.
get on the camera because I don't want to look crazy.
I don't look crazy.
Oh, bless.
I'm the voice of the people right now.
And you are the voice of
I
people
am.
from the other
Concerned
shows. And
mom.
absolutely. And we like that. But we are going to
But
go into
Big
this.
booty Judy.
Big
But
booty
go.
Judy.
Go.
Have and please, have we as blacks accepted black on black crime? And what I mean by that is we get so angry when we see another race kill a black person, and we are like fired up. And you know, again, the whole Zimmerman
out the
thing,
troops.
this and that, and we're like, hey, call in Jesse, call in Malcolm, call the troops in because this black boy
Nobody
just
want to
got
call.
killed.
You don't want to call Al Sharpton.
Call
You
Al.
Okay,
Call Al.
him,
You
him
can
up
call.
too.
You can
Alright.
call up everybody.
Okay.
But black on black crime is prevalent every single day, and we don't take a step to say, oh, that's wrong. That's wrong right there, and we need to stop that. Kumbaya,
You know what?
blah blah
This
blah.
is what I will say. I have two views on this.
Okay.
The first view, up to your point, is it's like a family thing. If I can call my mom, well, I won't say my mom, but I can call my sister.
Because we don't talk
I
about
don't know.
mamas.
We don't talk about mamas, even though we will talk about that later. 'Cause my mama crazy. Anyways,
You say no, natural too.
we can talk. I can call my sister or one of my family members something crazy, or call them out of pocket if I think they're doing something that deems that worthy. However, you can't talk about my family. That's that whole thing.
Okay.
And then don't be of a different race or background, because then that just adds fuel to the fire. Like, oh no, you can't call my baby ugly, even though my baby is sometimes ugly. Technically.
I understand where you're going with that.
Where am I going?
It's our culture.
Right.
And we are protective of our culture,
Right.
and what we do in our house is what we do in our house, and we might be shooting each other up, but it's our house and we know our house is dirty.
Dirty.
Our house
Hot
is dirty.
mess.
Yeah, our house is dirty. But when someone else comes into our home and violates us, then we become angry.
Right. But
That's
that violation has been going on for I don't
long
even know
time.
how long. The bigotry, the racism, socialism. I can just go on and all name all the isms. But the moral of the story is, it's not necessary. It's perpetuated, unfortunately. But this goes way back before we were ever created.
Gotcha.
Before.
I understand that. So that takes me into the Riley Cooper incident. Plays for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yep. He still plays for him, right?
Yeah, and I'm gonna break that story down.
Go
So
ahead, break it down.
He plays for the Philadelphia Eagles. He was at a concert where it was a predominantly white concert that there was a black. I don't know if he was a security guard, usher. I don't know what he was.
But he was an employee.
He was an
staff.
employee. He was staff.
Okay.
And something came out, altercation came out, and he shouted out the word "it."
Right. And now it's all over the news.
Now it's all over the news. Now, he's an NFL player, and he's not a star. I mean,
He's a player.
He's a player. I mean, he's a third. I don't want to call him a third string. I
We'll
mean, he
say
gets some
second.
game.
Yeah.
He gets some run and everything like that. Well, it went viral. It went out there, and everybody went up in arms like, "Oh my gosh, he said this." Da 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 da. Kick him off the team. Kick him off the team. We're angry. We're angry. We're
Right.
angry. He said it. He apologized to, and he's in the NFL. There's 53 players on the team, and probably 40 of them are black.
Right.
So
got some
with the
problems.
Philadelphia Eagles, he gonna go through his issues anyway
For a long time.
For a long time.
The locker
And-
room is gonna be pretty interesting.
Well, but his team, you gotta realize when you're on an NFL team, that's your family because you have to deal with these
but
guys.
in my
weeks on
family,
week.
if it's my family, I'm gonna say whatever I would say to my family.
Right?
Granted, he was at a concert.
He was at
wasn't
a
amongst
concert.
his family.
He was amongst his
Right.
friends and family,
Right.
and we talked about this before with the Paula Dean thing. When Paula was around her people,
Yep, she just let it flow.
she let it flow, and then somebody got mad at her and let it out, and then America saw it, and then she got shut down.
Right.
Riley was out with his friends. It slipped out, came out, and everybody went crazy. So they told him to take a leave of absence, kind of go sit down for a little bit, figure out what the heck you talking about, and then come back. Why does that bother us so much for the words that he has projected out, where at the end of the day, in a year from now, no one's going to say a word. No one's going to say a word, nor is anyone going to care.
I think it's a trigger word. It's definitely a trigger word when you have someone of the opposite culture, if you will,
Yep.
say the N-word. It just is. It's very taboo when someone else says it. I think the more energy we give the word, the more powerful it becomes
Right.
with anything.
Right.
So I'm like,
Absolutely.
man, y'all don't even know the words I want to say right now.
Right,
But
right,
I'm just
right.
like, forget about it. Okay.
I mean, but do you feel that it gives it more power when we talk about it and we keep
yes.
it
Why are
moving?
we? Yes.
I
I
mean-
want to say it was wrong. Somebody slap him on the back of the head, give him a fine. Let's keep it moving.
Well,
like, I don't want to.
here's what's so scary. This guy has to play 16 games.
He's gonna get knocked the
Out.
out.
You
Like,
got
hey, game on. We
you
playing,
got
right?
16 other teams
Yes.
again
Trying to
with
tee
about 40
off.
black people on
Trying to
every
tee
team.
off on Mr.
They're
Riley.
They're just gonna run real hard and just run into him,
Yep.
like really
Put
bad.
him in the
Like,
game. Let that baby play.
he is going to go through more of a punishment
Right.
for this whole season
Right.
than he would
Or two.
ever. Yes, that he can ever go through.
Right. There's no
Sa-
dollar amount behind it.
Same
I get
thing
it.
with Zimmerman.
Yeah.
Zimmerman riding through Texas with a gun on, nervous as hell because
He about to shoot somebody else.
scared to death.
Itchy trigger finger. Y'all
Terrified.
need to watch him too.
I mean, you need to watch him because he's terrified and he's scared to death and he's coming. He needed to go to Texas because he had to get out of Florida because he's scared to
Put him-
death.
I don't know. I was gonna. Yeah. Just.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna stay away from that because that's a tough stuff. So
It really is, because if you think about the mentality behind the black community, I mean, we've kind of done it to ourselves a little bit.
we set ourselves up.
We've set ourselves up,
Yes.
but this goes again far beyond what we are currently living in. This has to do with a long history of slavery and psychological and emotional abuse. This has to do with the whole crab in the barrel
No, I get
theory. This has a lot to do with that. So now and I say we because I am black, so we are kind of living that. And unfortunately, when we do something amongst our family, it's like, that's Ray, you should have known better.
Right. You
Instead
knew.
of identifying the problem immediately and saying, okay, wrong is wrong. A sin is a sin. Wrong is
Right.
wrong. Like, why are we allowing this behavior, and where does it stop? At what point do we collectively as a community start acting out and making such an outrage or a cry out to the rest of the world when things amongst our black community go wrong? Why is that not the issue or
Right.
the concern or the
and that-
action that takes place?
Because that means that we are trying to get into the root cause
root.
of it.
The root
but I
cause
really
of it.
don't. I really don't care about the root cause.
You have to.
But I don't really care about the root cause because then I have to dive into it and really focus
Then
in
you're
on
never
the problem.
you're never gonna fix the problem until you get to the bottom of it.
And that's the problem.
That's
and
the
that's what
problem.
we're missing.
It's a lot of work.
And
Who's
that-
gonna put
And
that
who
work
wants
together.
to put the work together?
I don't know. I mean, I would do it if you guys paid me to do it, but I just volunteer on top of everything else I have to do. I'm just saying, I'll protest for a little while. I will.
America,
That's what I do.
America, she's the best. We love her to death. So
Just
we're
saying.
gonna kind of keep this thing moving on society. Is getting to know your neighbors a priority or a hassle?
It's a little bit of both.
Well, that's kind of unfair.
No, it's true.
Do you know your neighbors?
Yes, I do.
You know both sides?
Yes,
You know across the street?
I live in a cul-de-sac,
Yes.
so I know everybody that lives
Okay.
in my hood, in my section, and I
In
would
your
say,
giddy up?
in my giddy up,
Right.
no,
Gotcha.
cowboy up. But yes, I think it's a priority, and it's kind of a hassle. Like, we're all very busy. Like, to go over to someone else's house when you know they just got off work and they have kids, they're doing dinner, to knock on their door and be like, hey, I brought some cookies. This is what I
How
am.
long does that really take you?
It
But you're a caterer. First of all, you're a caterer.
okay.
You're a caterer.
Yes.
And being a caterer,
Yes.
you.
I think my neighbors
hold on.
really well.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll say 7 are in your cul-de-sac.
Okay.
6, 5,
Okay.
maybe.
Okay.
So there's only 4 people in the house. So 20 people, 24. So you make 30 cookies, and you walk it
So
over.
what's your point?
The point where I'm getting at is, even if it's just a simple, hey, here's some
Right.
cookies, here you go. I might not talk to you ever again,
Right.
or I might just wave to you, but we need to reach out to them and just say, hey, we are
we
here.
exist. We're
Because we
here.
need to pay attention to
What's going
What's
on.
going on? Who's
Yeah,
coming down this?
absolutely.
What car is that? Who is this? And everything
Absolutely.
like that. Because that's why our kids are so jacked up. That's why they can't come outside, because we don't know that neighbor, that neighbor, that neighbor, and that neighbor, and don't understand what's going on.
Right.
So until we can get that, and what I would do if I was on a cul-de-sac is I would have a little block party and
Oh,
just
yeah.
have a little get together
Oh,
and
yeah.
have some fun where everybody in the neighborhood kind of knows
Each
their
other
name.
and feel very comfortable with them, and I'm all for that. One of my coworkers lives on a cul-de-sac, kind of like mine, and he's always every second Friday of the month they have a kickball game in the
Oh,
cul-de-sac.
I
I
love
think it's so
kickball.
cute, right?
Do you play?
Of course, I play everything. I'm an athlete. But what my point being is, getting to know your neighbors it's so important. It really is.
I know. I
So,
like it. I
you
agree
just
with
never
you.
know when you're going to need something. I've had my neighbors come over and say, "Hey, girl, we
You
didn't
got some
have
sugar?
We didn't. No, I'm not in that kind of neighborhood. That was
Y'all
a
ain't
long-
asking for sugar.
that
You
was
got
a long
$500?
That was a long time ago. No longer in that hood. They came over to tell me my garage door was open.
You know
They
what?
said, we didn't have your number, so I'm sorry to ring
so
your
when
doorbell.
you drive by and you see someone's
I
garage
tell
door
them.
open, do you go tell them?
Yes, I watch First 48. Don't leave your garage door open. Woo, woo, woo. We ain't gonna talk about the First 48. That's a whole nother segment.
I hate that show.
I know.
I hate that show. I mean, because it's not the first 48. It takes months and months and months.
Don't ruin the show for everybody else.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What a
I'm sorry.
buzzkill.
I am. Because we're gonna probably have to wrap up real soon, but I need to ask this question:
Ask it.
are parents so caught up in trying to be like the Joneses that they buy PlayStations, Game Boys, tablets, everything because the kids that are going to school with these tablets and everything? Is everybody trying to be in that world and you can't afford it?
Yes.
I mean, that's probably
Yes.
the right answer.
Yes.
Cut and dry to the point.
To the point, yes. Because if I have, it's just the world we live in. So if my kids are on pedaling this bike and everybody else is on a Segway, eventually that bike is not going to hold its weight and go.
But it does. Because what is a bike for? Exercise.
Exercise.
And a Segway...
Have you ever ridden one?
No, I know it. I heard it's fun as can be.
It's so fun.
Yeah, but it's not exercise.
It's not exercise. It's fun.
Okay. And I want you to watch the cartoon that I told you about the other day. Gosh, it was the
Wall-E?
Disney. Yeah, Wall-E.
Wall-E.
And Wall-E is so important for people to understand. Look, if you haven't seen Wall-E, watch Wall-E, because that's where we're going. We talk about Segways, we talk about all these other things and trying to keep up with the Joneses, but we really need to get back to exercising because our kids are blowing up.
Here we go with the kids. I know. I agree.
Again, because we talk about the kids because I love the babies.
Right. And last week we talked about the digital age and all that stuff too. And that's another outlet for you, is to actually be active with your kids. It will benefit you and it benefit the kids as well.
Yeah.
Running, jogging, riding. I like all that.
And you do it so well. I mean, with the babies and taking them out and everything like that. So Again, that was society. Please write in, talk to us. You're on the Blue Way Talk Show with Duane Bluestein and your
Lovely.
Miss Lovely Shelley Marie.